Hey everyone, I'm in New York City's Flatiron district at a pan-Indian restaurant which is called Passerine. I had to look that up because never heard of it before, but it's a bird with four toes, and I believe half of birds are Passerine. So I discovered this place because they have some mocktails that are getting some attention, and I'm starting off with the Mallard. That's grapefruit you see there, and I'm also trying this because it's supposed to be a little bit citrusy. There's also Indian tonic in this. Definitely notice the tonic. It neutralizes the grapefruit, so the grapefruit is not as bitter as grapefruit can sometimes be. Starting off with the grilled oysters. They come in an Juan masala hollandaise, which I've never heard of before. I've also never had oysters at an Indian restaurant before. There's a spice on the top that's kind of like hitting me in the back of the throat. Other than that, really like the taste. I'm usually eating oysters raw, so I kind of forgot what it's like to eat them grilled. Definitely, if you like something spicy, try this one. All right, trying a couple more appetizers before the larger plates come. This is a chicken kofta topped with mushroom. It's also some cilantro there. And then this one here is probably the coolest presentation. This is the lamb tartare with what look to be fried shisho leaves. The meatball's pretty juicy, which I wasn't expecting. And the cream sauce has like a little bit of spice to it. Shaved truffle, something else I've never had in an Indian restaurant before. Don't think I've ever had a fried shisho leaf before. The tartare has a citrusy flavor, but it also has some spice. Hitting the back of my throat even more so than the oysters I had earlier.
Great choices. So here we have
And this one's the winter squash. I personally think Indian restaurants do vegetarian dishes better than anyone else, and India also has the highest percentage of vegetarians in the world. And you can't go to an Indian restaurant without ordering naan. This one is the beef Nihari, which I mainly ordered because of the mushrooms. Just look at how this comes apart so easily. You can definitely tell it's slow cooked. And then the little bit of mint in there definitely changes the flavor a little bit. Not exactly what I was expecting, but the curry it's in is pretty mild. The winter squash curry has a little more flavor, but I prefer the beef just because of the way it was slow cooked. All right, I just tried 5 savory dishes at Passerine, and I'm gonna rank them. Number 1 ended up being the chicken kofta. That's the closest thing that I tried to something that I've had before. I know what kofta is. But then the second one was the beef nihari. So I loved the way it was prepared. The beef was obviously slow cooked, and I think steak goes well with mushrooms. So that was number 2. Number 3, I'm gonna say the oysters. I like the way they're prepared. Never had oysters at an Indian restaurant before. I highly recommend those if you come here. That brings me to number 4. I really liked the lamb tartare, but how spicy it was, it really pushed me to my outer edges. The spice even lingered in my mouth for a few minutes after I finished the dish. But the shisho leaves, I really liked how we were eating off the shisho leaves. That was great. Then finally, the winter squash. I would say the curry was probably my favorite in that dish. And I loved the way I just ate that up with the naan that came along with it. For dessert, I'm having the Pistachio Cremeux. And upon first glance, this looks like just a little bite-sized kind of cinnamon cake, but take a closer look. That is chai ice cream served over pistachio. All right, this kind of reminds me of a slightly sweet shaved ice with pistachio. The chai ice cream, you can definitely taste that. Really interesting the way they mix together. I think it's topped with cinnamon as well. The important thing is I just tried 5 savory courses, so I'm glad I'm having something light for dessert. And I would put this up against any of the savory dishes. In terms of creativity, probably even has an edge. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. I got more trips coming up soon. I'm getting ready to leave for San Diego, California. It's going to be my first trip there in more than 20 years. And then I'm also going to be going to the US Virgin Islands. It's going to be my first trip there. And I'm also doing my first ever real trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I hope you get to try Passerine, some of the different Indian dishes here that I've never heard of. And I hope to share more videos with you soon. Thank you very much for watching.